Hey everyone, welcome to Leejieun's channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss out. Are you ready for a brand new recap video? Let's get started. When Aesoon and Gwansik were taken to the police station, they faced condescending treatment from two officers who saw them as reckless young villagers. The police mocked their situation and sarcastically commented on their loss of valuables. Gwansik firmly took responsibility for their actions, trying to shield Aesoon from ridicule and threats. On the other hand, Aesoon did not stay silent. She responded to the officers' insult them. Gwansik's mother, who had been searching for them, arrived at the police station and immediately demanded to know where her gold was. Since the police had no concrete evidence to charge Aesoon and Gwansik, Gwansik's mother decided to take matters into her own hands and went straight to the thieves' hideout, determined to reclaim what was hers. Gwansik's mother managed to retrieve her gold. Meanwhile, the police, now with solid evidence, arrested the culprits, ensuring they faced justice. Back to Jeju. Rumors go around about her. She spent the night in a motel with the guy she ran away with. She's expelled from school, and Gwansik's family hates her even more now. Gwansik, there are no rumors for him. He's holding on to the idea of Aesoon, but Aesoon is way down in the dumps feeling hopeless. She's convinced, by her family and Gwansik's, to go out with a divorced man who's much older than her. He's rich and willing to take her in because he needs someone to raise his kids. He's even willing to overlook her past with another man. Gwansik is just a crying mess now, in tears in front of anyone with authority, trying to convince them that he and Aesoon should be together. But when he finally drags her away from the guy she's supposed to marry and presents her with a ring, it's Aesoon herself that says it's never happening. This rich guy will send her to college so she can be a poet, and then no one will speak badly of her again. This moment is a heartbreaking turning point for both Aesoon and Gwansik. Without Aesoon to care for, Gwansik is left without purpose. His only ambition has always been to stay by her side. Then comes the fateful day. Gwansik's family forces him onto a boat to the mainland to pursue athletics, separating him from the only life he's ever known. At the same time, Aesoon is being fitted for her wedding clothes, preparing for a marriage she never wanted. But as the minutes pass, reality crashes down on her. She can't go through with it. In a desperate bid for freedom, she bolts from the store, running as fast as she can to the pier, only to see Gwansik's ship already sailing away. The rain pours down, soaking her expensive new skirt suit as she collapses on the dock, crying out his name. But as the overwhelming weight of loss takes over, her cries shift from calling for Gwansik. In this almost mythical moment, Gwansik somehow hears Aesoon's distant cries over the crashing waves. He spots her on the pier, drenched in the rain, and without hesitation, he leaps from the ship into the open sea. With the strength and speed of a sea creature, he cuts through the water, determined to reach her. In mere minutes, he scales the rocky shoreline, his body exhausted, but his heart unstoppable. As soon as he reaches her, he pulls Aesoon into a desperate, bone-crushing embrace. They're crying, holding each other, shaking from exhaustion and overwhelming emotion, until Aesoon suddenly blurts out, "I have to pay for these clothes." And just like that, their moment of high drama turns into laughter through tears. In the 90s timeline, we see an older Aesoon, played by Moon So-ri, at home with her daughter Yang-myung, also played by IU, and Gwansik's now grown-up baby sister, Gyeong-ok, playing by Seo Hye-won. Through their conversation, we learn that the night in the Busan motel resulted in Gyeong-myung's conception, and she was born just 8 months after Aesoon and Gwansik's wedding, shortly after that emotional reunion at the pier. At just 18 years old, Aesoon's life took a drastic turn. She let go of her aspirations, choosing instead to embrace motherhood. The moment she held her daughter in her arms, her dreams of becoming a poet faded, replaced by an overwhelming love for her child and a commitment to being a wife and mother. Back to where they decide to marry, symbolizing their commitment to each other amidst adversity. The episode concludes with their wedding ceremony, marking the beginning of their journey together as a married couple. After moving in with Gwansik's family, Aesoon faces relentless mistreatment from her mother-in-law and grandmother-in-law. They belittle her, overburden her with household responsibilities, and ensure she knows her place within their rigid patriarchal structure. Despite her strong bond with Gwon-sik, she never tells him, choosing instead to suffer in silence. But Aesoon refuses to let this cycle continue for her daughter. She dreams of a different future for Gyum-myung, one where she isn't limited by traditional gender roles. "I don't want her to set the table. I want her to flip the table," Aesoon tells Gwon-sik, urging him to stand up against his mother and grandmother for their daughter's sake. She wants Gyum-myung to pursue whatever she desires, not just what society allows for girls. However, the older women remain firm in their outdated beliefs. Despite Aesoon's dedication to her role as a wife and mother, she constantly faces resistance from her in-laws, especially when she tries to introduce new ideas that challenge traditional norms. Gwon-sik. Though he can't openly rebel against his family, he shows his support in small but meaningful ways, sitting at the same table as Aesoon and Gyum-myung during meals, something traditionally reserved for men, and ensuring his daughter eats as much as she wants, even when the best food is expected to be saved for the men. When Gwon-sik's mother and grandmother decide that Gyum-myung should follow in the family tradition and become a haenyeo, a female diver, Aesoon is immediately triggered. She thinks of her own mother, how she lived, how she struggled, and ultimately, how she died. The thought of her daughter enduring the same harsh, unforgiving life sends her into a rage. She refuses, outright rejecting their decision for Gyum-myung's future. But standing up to them comes at a price. In an instant, Aesoon is slapped across the face, a brutal reminder of the power they still hold over her. Just then, Gwon-sik arrives home from work and sees what's happened. Without hesitation, he takes Aesoon's hand and lifts their daughter into his arms. With a firm and final tone, he tells them they won't be seeing any of them again. Starting over on their own comes with its own set of struggles. With no financial stability, Gwon-sik takes a job on a fishing boat, doing grueling labor just to make ends meet. The cruel twist, he's working for the same abusive man Aesoon was originally supposed to marry. Gwon-sik never tells Aesoon who his boss is, keeping it a secret to avoid burdening her. But she starts noticing the bruises, new ones appearing every time he comes home. The late hours, the exhaustion, the silent winces when he moves. It all starts to add up. When Aesoon finally puts the pieces together, she doesn't hesitate. Heavily pregnant with their second child, she storms down to the dock, finds the man responsible, and, without a second thought, kicks him hard in the shin. As he stumbles back in shock, she glares at him and declares, "My husband isn't working here anymore." And just like that, she takes control, choosing dignity and self-respect over survival at any cost. The episode ends to a heartfelt conclusion, returning to the 90s timeline, where Gwon-sik and Aesoon walk down the stairs together, hand in hand. Their steps are slower now, their bodies worn by time, but their grip remains firm, just like their love, which has endured through every hardship. Episodes 3 and 4 of When Life Gives You Tangerines really start to deepen the emotional layers of the story. Overall, these episodes solidify the show's unique charm while hinting at deeper conflicts ahead. What did you think? Please leave your opinion in the comments section. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.